Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Chantecaille Anti-Aging Face Tint. We're going to do some comparisons to some other products that I think might be similar. And we're also going to be doing a side-by-side comparison to the Westman Atelier Pink Bubble Powder and the Givenchy Prisme Libre Press Powder in Rose. So if you're interested in seeing that, just stay tuned. Hey everyone, so as I said, today we're going to be taking a look first at the Chantecaille Anti-Aging Face Tint. Chantecaille was kind enough to send this to me. I want to show it to you. I have the cap off so you can see the consistency. It looks beautiful. It has a little bit of a scent. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Okay, so I'm going to say a couple things. One, I'm not generally a huge fan of things in tubs because they can get messy. There's a little cap, like the inside cap thing. I'm probably going to get rid of that because I already made a mess with it. But let's talk a little bit about the product. So it's 1.06 ounces, which is 30 grams, $77. It says it's uniquely lightweight and sheer. This gel cream, it does have a gel consistency, glides onto the skin to instantly add a touch of sun wherever it is applied, boosted with anti-aging botanicals that smooth the skin for a youthful look. There's also a liquid sculpt brush, which I do not have, designed for cream and liquid formulas. I think there's a couple brushes that I can use for that. You want to be careful with the brush that you use if you use a brush with this, because some brushes are not made for cream or liquid products. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is just show you the consistency of this. So it kind of has like a gel-like consistency, which is what they say. And it kind of reminds me of, what's the word? It's got a viscosity to it, almost like mayonnaise. You know how like mayonnaise kind of jiggles? Yeah, I don't like mayonnaise. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And when you first see it, it looks pretty deep. So I was kind of like, you know, how am I going to wear that? But actually, and I put on a lot, actually, as you shear this out, it becomes quite light. And I'm going to compare it to some other products that I think might make sense. A couple of other, like the Victoria Beckham and Golden. We'll get to it in a minute. But I want to kind of show you, I have nothing on my skin. Nothing. Just some skincare. My brows are done. That's it. So if I take this from the back of my hand and just kind of put this very lightly, I think you see like an instant warming of my skin. Now my skin is very pale, obviously. So for me, it's very clear. It instantly imparts this kind of glow. It does not look too golden, which is what I was worried about because I don't do well with like a gold. That's not, you know. But it's subtle. And I would say it imparts like a glow, a really pretty glow. So we're going to leave it on for a minute while we talk about some other products that I think are similar or might be similar to what this does. So like I said, it's a very light glow. It's not a bronzer. I mean, I guess it could be a bronzer. We'll see if we can build it up a little bit. But I get the feeling that this is more like a natural glowing product. Which kind of reminds me of the Victoria Beckham Golden. Now this came originally in I think a clear color. And I actually really like this product as a primer. It's a good moisturizer for me. This has a similar kind of feel, like it's gel-like. And I like the fact that it's in a pump, to be honest. But you can see this one looks like glowier and more, I don't want to say orange, but I would definitely say, yeah, more orange. I mean, when you really look at it, this one's like a cooler bronze, and this one has more of like that golden color. And when you shear out the Victoria Beckham, it's very sheer. Like I get very little color pigment from it. I just get a little bit. So you can see like how much lighter this one is. You can also see though, I think that although this is very light, it does have this like luminosity to it. I think more so than the Chantecaille. I think this looks more glowy This one looks, in my opinion, more like a subtle tan. I think if you added this, the Chantecaille, to a moisturizer, you'd basically get a tinted moisturizer because it has more pigment to it. This one looks more golden and more shimmery to me. Okay, so the other products that were occurring to me, like when I was looking at this, was the Givenchy, the Yummy Skin, and the Tom Ford Glow Drops, which I've had for a while now. This is in Glacial Rose. I don't have a bronze one. I have like a golden one, but I wanted to just take a look at it. I know it's gonna be like too pink, but what I wanted to see was like the glow, the consistency of the glow. Now again, this is pinker and it's lighter, but I still get more of that glow with that than I do with the new Chantecaille. Again, these are glow drops. It specifically says glow. And the Chantecaille says an anti-aging face tint. So they're, you know, different. The face tint doesn't say it's supposed to be glowy. Yummy Skin. So again, this is the Yummy Skin Glow Serum. So again, glowy. I have mine in, what was the shade? Main Squeeze. Yeah, see, again, less pigment. I'll put it next to the Chantecaille. Definitely less pigment and just more glowy. I'll be honest, the Givenchy to me just gives a glow. I don't actually get like practically any shade from it. You can see it's actually pretty, you know, pretty clear, which is good because if you're just looking for a glow, you don't necessarily want a lot of pigment. So that's really interesting. Okay, so let's see if we can do two things. One, let's see if I can build up the color a little bit and see what that does. Put some more on here because I already put a layer down and I kind of let it sit because I wanted to see, you know, kind of what it would do. I'm almost using it as bronzer, but I'm putting it underneath, not putting it on top of the foundation. I want to see if I can get this sort of lit within glow. I'm sure you've seen a lot of influencers, TikTok people have done it, where you put the blush on first, or you put the shades on first and you put foundation over it. It's kind of like a backwards application. And basically what you're doing is you're putting on the pigment, the shade, and then putting a light foundation over it so it shows through. It looks, quote, more natural. It does work. You know, again, there's all different kinds of ways to do makeup, so I don't have a problem with doing that. I think sometimes there's this idea that if you do that, it's just gonna be like totally different. It's really not different. It's just that whatever's on top, whatever the last thing you put on is the thing that you generally see the most. So if you do it this way and you have something underneath and you put foundation on it, it's going to be like the foundation will come later as long as it seamlessly goes into your skin. You'll have more of a natural glow. It won't look like you put products on top of your foundation because you haven't. So looking at this, I think that was definitely like an enhancement. I think there's definitely more pigment to my skin. So I think you can build it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a foundation and then on this side, we're gonna take a tinted moisturizer. We're gonna see what happens when we do this. Okay, so this is the Kosas. This is a really good foundation. The reason I chose this one for today is I would consider this a light to medium foundation that works well for me, but I also think it's got like a beige. So a lot of my foundations have more of a pink tone to them. This one does not. It has a little bit of peach, but not too much. So that way you can get a better like take on the tint, because if I just use a very pink foundation, I don't know how well that would mix. So let's just see what happens when we put that on first and then we put this foundation over it. Careful of my brows. Oh, that looks really nice. I don't know if you can really tell because sometimes the camera doesn't pick these things up, but how like glowy and healthy my skin looks, but it doesn't totally clash with my neck. In other words, it's not so deep that my skin shade is now like totally different. It is a little bit deeper, but not super deep because, again, I put it on underneath the foundation, so it kind of just looks subtle. It looks really good. We're gonna put it on over it too, so you can see it, but I think that looks fantastic. And you can definitely see the warmth here, but it's not too strong. Okay, so on this side, we're gonna use a tinted moisturizer, and I'm gonna use the Yves Saint Laurent New, my favorite tinted moisturizers. I have it in, is it 1? What do I have it in? Jeez, 3. Wow, okay. Usually I have 1, so that's kind of what my brain went to, but I have it in shade 3. And it does have more coverage than some other tinted moisturizers, but it's still, I mean, it's a tint. So we'll see how this works with it over it. It'll also be interesting to see when you mix them, like if I took this and just the face tint and mixed it with like a moisturizer, that would also be really interesting. Because I have a lot, like my La Mer soft lotion that I have in a pump. I think that would go really well with this face tint. Just give me a little bit of, you know, a little bit of a tan, but not much. Okay, now first of all, I think you can see this has more coverage. I mean, this is a foundation, this side is a tint, but I think you can see like how pretty and glowy that looks, both sides. This side looks more flawless because, again, I have on, you know, a full foundation. And this side looks a little more natural because it's a tinted moisturizer. But I think both sides look really pretty and just like natural and glowy. All right, so now we're gonna try it over and see what it does. So give me a second, I gotta find a brush. Okay, so I have a old Charlotte Tilbury brush. This is actually a great brush. This I think came out, God, like forever ago. It was to do the Hollywood complexion, like the bronzer contour thing. Anyway, it's a great brush. So I might pick up the Chantecaille brush too, but we'll see. All right, so let's take this and kind of use it, again, in the same area. I'm not thinking of it like just like a bronzer. I'm kind of thinking of it as like a all over, like healthy look. Because as we've seen lately with all the bronzers and contours and the cream products that we have, you know, there are so many different ways to do this. I used the Makeup by Mario one the other day, the Perfector. Is it the Perfector? It's the one that's the cream. And, you know, I really love that for a very natural look. And I actually used it like on my bare skin and it looked lovely because it basically was just like a little bit of warmth. That's kind of what this gives. And actually I'll pull that out so we can see how it looks next to that because it's actually giving me very similar vibes, which is interesting. But this dies down like this. The Makeup by Mario seemed a little tackier. This does not. I'm just running it down my neck a little bit so it'll warm everything up. Yeah, that looks, look at how that looks. Just healthy and glowy. And even though it doesn't have as much of a glow as the other products that I was talking about, I still think it imparts a glow to my skin. Ooh, I love the way that looks. Okay, I don't particularly love the tub thing, I will say. The tub thing kind of, just because it's messy, but that looks phenomenally good. Just like glowy, healthy summer, which is what I did a bronze video. I think it's coming up after this one. And I've been using some of the products to kind of create a natural bronzy look because I don't bronze, I don't tan. This is kind of what I was talking about. And it did it with just this product, which is phenomenally good. Yeah, you can see that there's like some tan to my skin, but it doesn't look heavy or cakey. It just blended beautifully. I'm just checking like if it's sinking in. It is sinking in. It's not staying tacky. All right, let's take a look at it next to the Makeup by Mario product, which I have here somewhere. Let's see. All right, I also grabbed the Laguna 1 by NARS because I just want to get a feel for this. So the Laguna 1 by NARS is definitely a bronzer. You know, it's meant to be. It's a cream bronzer. I really like it. I think it works really well as a contour on me. You can use it as tanner too, but you can see it's very light and it is a little bit more cool leaning. It looks very natural on me though, and I have been using this one quite a bit. I think this is, I either use this or the Charlotte Tilbury one in my bronze video. So this is the Makeup by Mario, and again, it's the skin enhancer, not perfector. The perfector is the powder. I haven't quite figured out the powder yet, but anyway, this is in light, and like I said, I used it on just bare skin, and it looked so natural, so good. I think over a tinted moisturizer, you'd get the same thing. I also think you could use it under or over like a tinted moisturizer or foundation like I just did with this product today. You can see how light it is. It just kind of warms up the skin. The Laguna 1 is definitely, you know, more pigmented. All right, so this new product, the Chantecaille product, let's put it next to that and see what we think. And I've already got like goo everywhere. That's what I don't like. It's just the messiness of it, but I can understand why they put, like they do their other stuff in here. So I get it. It's just, you know, it's just like it gets everywhere. Okay, so it's warmer than, I'm gonna close this lid again, and now I have product everywhere again. It's the only thing I don't like about that. Okay, so it's warmer than both the Laguna and the Makeup by Mario, but it's a little bit deeper than the Makeup by Mario, but not a lot. It's like a half a shade, and I'd say it's a little bit warmer, a little bit more golden. But it gives me the same effect, which is this just healthy, glowy effect. Now, on the side with the tinted moisturizer, I think you can see more of it because, again, it's underneath the tinted moisturizer and on top of it. So there's less coverage, so I think you can see it more, right? Here, I think it looks a little bit more subtle because you have a foundation, a medium foundation. So I think you get more of it when you actually use the tinted moisturizer because, you know, there's just more to see, like there's less coverage. But I think both sides look really nice. It blended perfectly. My skin is like slightly tacky, but not, you know, not sticky. My skin is dry for those of you who haven't watched me before, so, but it does feel nice. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the Chantecaille Ray, the new chicken eye shade, put it on my eyes, put some mascara on, put the marigold on my lips, or maybe the sunflower, you know what I mean, the two new lip tints from Chantecaille. And then we're gonna try out head-to-head the Westman Atelier powder versus the Givenchy. I will make sure I have timestamps, so in case you were just looking to see the Chantecaille product, you can see that. Or if you're just looking to see the powder products side by side, you can see that. All right, I'll be right back. And we're back. A little bit of Chantecaille Ray on the eyes, a little bit of mascara, and the new lip tint on my lips. Which one did I use? I think it's Sunflower. Sunflower. I really like both of them, but Sunflower I seem to be reaching for a little bit more often. It has more of a like a brown, I guess. The other one has a little bit more pink. Anyway, I like both. So if you're here only for the side by side, we're gonna do that now. So my skin feels comfortable. It feels moisturized and healthy. It doesn't feel tacky. It feels quite nice. So we're gonna do the side by side. Now this is the Givenchy Rose pressed powder. It comes in this compact. I've shown it to you. It has a little brush at the top. You lift up the little brush, powder on the bottom. I chose the rose shade because I was mostly thinking of this for an under eye powder. So that's why I'm gonna compare this one to the pink bubble in the Westman Atelier and not the creme. I will also say that I am gonna pick up the translucent. I just have to decide whether I wanna get it from Nordstrom or from Sephora, frankly. And you know, I don't need to buy it like immediately. I have the other two powders, and frankly, I've bought more than enough lately. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use my little powder puff here. We're gonna use the Givenchy under the eye, then we'll use the Westman Atelier. I'll use it also on each side of the face, and then I'll bring you in close so you can see the difference. When I do the Givenchy, I just put it in all the shades, kind of like a circle. Okay, Givenchy side. I have worn this a couple times. It doesn't cake. I haven't had any problems with wear. It doesn't, you know, suddenly look very dry on my skin. And it looks really nice, I have to say. So anyone who is wondering like, well, how does it look, you know, 5 hours in? Basically the same. I will say, I think it looks a little heavier than the Westman Atelier. And you can definitely tell that it's powder, whereas the Westman Atelier doesn't even feel like powder. It's the weirdest thing. It just feels like air. It's strange. Anyway, here's the Westman. The Westman Atelier powder, I have to say, like the first time I used it, when I did the video with the creme, it kind of felt like I wasn't like putting it on. I kept checking my powder puff because I was like, maybe I don't have anything on my powder puff, and I'm like, no, it's on there. It doesn't feel like powder. It's the strangest product. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna bring you in super close so you can see both sides, and then we'll do it all over the face. So this is the Givenchy side, and this is the Westman Atelier. So now I'm gonna take, this is a Rose and Bend brush. This is a great brush if you haven't used this. You can use this for foundation, you can use this for powder, use this for pretty much anything. All right, so I'm gonna use the Givenchy, pressing it into the brush, and now I'm gonna press it into the face. Okay, now I'm gonna do the Westman Atelier side. I think the Westman Atelier side looks better. I also think it blurs more, but I also want to mention that at the moment, I have a tinted moisturizer on this side and foundation on this side. So now it won't really matter for under the eye. The under the eye will be exactly the same, but let me take a little bit more of this powder, the Givenchy powder on this side. Neither one cakes, but I do think the Westman Atelier looks better on my skin. I would primarily focus on under the eye because that's the area that's exactly the same on both sides. The tinted moisturizer is on this side, the foundation is on this side. So you do get a more perfect finish from the foundation. But honestly, it shouldn't affect the blurring ability of either one. They both look really nice. I'm gonna look at my 10X really quick. I would just say that the Westman seems to have, to me, more blurring under the eye, and also like, it looks, there's just like no powder look. It just looks seamless. Whereas this side, it does look really beautiful. It looks really nice and brightened, but you can see that there's like something on the skin. Whereas here, I think it doesn't look like there's anything. Now, if you have oilier skin than I do, I have very dry skin. So this may work specifically because it has skincare ingredients in it, and my skin is so dry that this looks better. Whereas the Prisme Libre, the Givenchy, might look better on somebody who has more, quote, normal skin or even an oilier skin. But for me, specifically looking at the under eye, which is why I have the two, to be honest, I still like the Westman Atelier better. You guys will have to let me know what you think. The way they feel, the Atelier feels smoother. That's the Westman Atelier. This is the Givenchy. You can also tell though, this color is a little bit pinker. This has a little bit more like almost like brightening to it. The feel of the Westman Atelier feels like, and I've said this before, it feels like skincare, which there is, they say that there is skincare in there. So it's not like, you know, but it just is so smooth. Like you even touch it. And even if I go into the lightest shade in the Givenchy, it's still not as like smooth. Like, do you see, like just touching this, it just comes off so easily. It just immediately, there's something about this powder. It just, for me anyway, again, I have dry skin, I'm 50. I just think this perfects my skin in a way that no powder ever has. The Prisme Libre Rose is beautiful powder, and I'm sure that it works, and it works for me. I think it looks really pretty, and most powders don't, so this is still like a really good powder. The Westman Atelier is just special. Now, for me, I'll probably just use, I can say that I'll use the pink bubble under my eye and the creme on my face. I think the pink bubble looks fine on my face, but I kind of like the way the creme looks on my face, to be honest. The pink bubble is like, I don't know, I like it better just under the eye, but I still think it looks good all over the face. But for me, this is just really going to be setting my under eye. And I really just think it just brightens that and smooths that area out in a way that I haven't been able to do before. And I really like it. So, but I mean, up to you guys to decide. You can, you know, decide for yourself. You might like the way the Givenchy looks instead of the Westman Atelier, but I prefer the way that that looks. So some final thoughts for today. I really like this product, the Chantecaille Anti-Aging Face Tint. I think it looks phenomenally good. I don't think it looks too deep, and for me, like I have a difficult time finding a face tint, a bronzer, a glow product that doesn't look odd on me because I am pale. I think this makes me look really healthy and imparts a beautiful glow to my skin. You could build it up a little bit, but not a ton. I have it underneath and over my skin, but I sort of concentrated it here, here, and here, and put a little bit over on my nose. I have nothing else on. I don't have a highlighter or blush or a quote bronzer or anything. I just have that. And I think it looks really natural, really beautiful, but it kind of does sculpt my face a little bit, which is, I think, a beautiful natural look. I think it's stunning. Yeah, so I really like this. I don't love the tub, but again, it's just a preference thing. I think things get messy when you do that, but I love the consistency and I love the way that it looks. I think it just looks so pretty and glowy, but not like, not fake glowy, do you know what I mean? Like natural, healthy glowy, like just that I've, you know, been doing my hot yoga like I'm supposed to and eating a lot of vegetables. That's what it looks like. And the powder. I think the Givenchy looks very nice. I think it's a beautiful powder, but this smooths my skin in a way, the Westman Atelier smooths my skin in a way and blurs things just like no other powder has. I don't know what else to say. So I'm definitely going to pick up the translucent to see what that does compared to the creme and the pink bubble. But I have to say, guys, I absolutely love Westman Atelier. If you haven't picked it up yet, I strongly encourage you to pick it up because it's stunning. One last note, just a totally separate thing. Emile Cordon, I talked about these lip balms, and I actually have been wearing it. I had been wearing it all video before I put the sunflower on. These are great. I am going to have a 10% off code for you guys and an affiliate link soon. So if you're interested in the balms, but you want to hold off for me to get you that code, that will be coming. All right, that's basically it. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.